The vastness of space was silent for a moment. Stars shone like scattered diamonds on black velvet. In the middle of the Galactic Council chamber, the great leaders of many alien worlds gathered. Their faces were serious. A deep silence filled the room. Suddenly, the head of the council stood and spoke. His voice was calm but heavy with meaning. Effective immediately, humans are banned from all galactic wars. The room froze. The words hung in the air like a dark cloud. Some aliens whispered in shock. Others looked confused. Humans, sitting in their special section, stared in disbelief. They had fought alongside many species in past wars. They were known for courage and skill. Now suddenly they were forbidden. Captain Duran, a human pilot, clenched his fists. His eyes burned with anger and confusion. "Why?" he whispered to his friend. "What have we done to deserve this?" No answer came. The council's decision was final. Outside the council chamber, news spread fast. On the human homeworld, cities buzzed with voices of shock and fear. People stopped their work to listen to the broadcasts. Humans banned from galactic wars. The news repeated again and again. Many did not understand. Others felt deep sadness. Commander Lyra stood on the bridge of her ship, watching the stars. She was one of the best human fighters. She thought about the battles they had won. She thought about her fallen friends. Now, she wondered, was all that sacrifice wasted? Meanwhile, on a distant planet, an alien spy named Rek watched the news with a secret smile. "The humans are dangerous," he said softly. "The council finally sees the truth." But what was the truth? No one outside the council knew. Days passed. Humans tried to find answers. They asked their leaders, but no one spoke. The council was silent. The galaxy was confused. Duran decided he could not wait. He called a meeting of the best human pilots. "We need to find out why they banned us," he said. "We cannot accept this without a fight." The pilots agreed. They began to search for clues. One night, Duran received a secret message. It was from an unknown sender. The message said, "Meet me on the old space station near the Nebula sector. I have information about the ban." Duran knew this could be a trap, but he also knew he had no choice. He flew his small ship through the dark space toward the old station. As he approached, his heart beat faster. The station was silent and empty, but he could feel eyes watching him. Inside the station, a shadow moved. A voice called, "Captain Duran." He turned and saw a figure in a cloak. "Who are you?" Duran asked. "I am a former council member," the figure said. "I left because I could not agree with their secret plans." Duran listened carefully as the figure spoke. "The humans were banned because the council fears what humans can do. You have a power that no one else has. A power they cannot control." "What power?" Duran asked. The figure lowered the hood. Underneath was a human face, older and tired. "It is the power of human will. Humans never give up. You survive where others fail. You fight with your mind, not just weapons." The council saw this as a threat to their control. Duran was shocked. "So they banned us because they fear us?" The figure nodded. "Yes, but there is more. The council knows about an ancient secret. Humans are linked to it. They want to hide this from the galaxy." Duran's mind raced. "What secret? Why hide it?" The figure handed him a small device. "This has data you need. Use it wisely. The truth will change everything." Before Duran could ask more, the figure disappeared into the shadows. Back on his ship, Duran opened the device. Files showed strange symbols, old maps, and hidden messages. It was a secret history of humans and the galaxy, buried for centuries. Duran knew his mission was just beginning. The ban was not about simple fear or politics. It was about a secret that could shake the galaxy's foundation. He looked at the stars and whispered, "We will fight to clear our name. We will show them who humans really are." The galaxy was full of whispers. After the shocking ban on Binder, humans, many wondered what made them so different. Some said humans had a secret power, something no one else could match. Others said humans were just lucky, but no one really knew the truth. The truth was waiting to be found. Captain Duran sat quietly in his ship, staring at the stars. His mind was heavy with questions. Why did the Council fear humans so much? What was this secret power? He felt the weight of the secret device the old Council member had given him. The data inside could change everything. Duran was not alone in his thoughts. Far away on a peaceful planet, Commander Lyra was preparing for a special mission. She was to meet with other human leaders to discuss their next step. Humans had always been strong, but now they needed to be smarter than ever. When they gathered, Lyra spoke with calm strength. The Council banned us not because we were weak, but because they fear what we can do, she said. They fear our will, our mind, and our spirit. We need to learn more about this power they cannot control. One of the leaders, a wise elder, named Talon, nodded. Humans have survived things others could not. We adapt faster. We think differently. That is why the galaxy does not understand us. Duran listened carefully. He wanted to believe that humans were special, but he wanted proof. The secret device might hold the answers. Days passed as Duran studied the device. The old maps and strange symbols pointed to a place deep in uncharted space. A place where ancient humans once lived, before the galaxy's records began. Duran shared his findings with Lyra. Together they planned a journey to this hidden world. It was dangerous, but the truth was worth the risk. Their ship traveled through dark space. No one had been there for centuries. The stars seemed quieter here, as if they were waiting. When they reached the planet, it was covered in thick forests and deep oceans. It was beautiful but wild. As they explored, they found ruins, old buildings made of stone and metal covered in vines. Lyra touched the walls gently. "This place tells a story," she said. "Our ancestors lived here. They were more than just fighters. They were explorers, thinkers, and dreamers." In the deepest cave, they found a strange device glowing softly. When Duran activated it, a hologram appeared. It showed humans in the past, working with strange machines and stars. The hologram spoke in a calm voice. "Humans have a gift," it said. "The gift to change, to grow, and to survive. This gift is the key to the galaxy's future." Duran and Lyra felt a new hope. The Council's fear came from not understanding this gift. Humans were not just strong. They were special because of their spirit. But their discovery did not go unnoticed. In the shadows, watchers from other alien worlds tracked their every move. Some feared humans would become too powerful. Others wanted to keep the secret for themselves. Back on the ship, Duran looked at the stars again. "The galaxy must understand us," he said. "Not as threats, but as allies. We have much to give." Lyra smiled. "Then let us show them, not with weapons, but with truth." Their journey was far from over. The galaxy was still full of doubt and fear, but now humans had a secret to share, a secret that might change everything. The distant stars shimmered quietly as the galaxy held its breath. News of the human band still echoed through every corner of space, but something else was stirring now, something stronger and harder to ignore. Humans had a way of surprising everyone. Their mind, their will, their spirit, all of it pushed them beyond what anyone thought possible. And now, a battle was coming that would test everything. Captain Duran stood on the deck of his ship, eyes fixed on the swirling clouds of a nearby nebula. The air inside the command room was thick with tension. His crew was quiet, waiting for orders. Duran's thoughts raced. This battle was unlike any other. It was not just a fight for survival. It was a fight for respect, for proof that humans belonged among the stars. The order came from the Galactic Council. A dispute on the edge of explored space had turned dangerous. Several alien worlds were involved, and humans were requested to assist in peacekeeping. But the Council warned them. They were still banned from war, and this was to be a mission of peace. Joran knew better. This mission was a test, a chance to show the galaxy what humans truly were. But danger lurked beneath the calm words. Old fears and hidden agendas followed the human fleet like shadows. As the ships moved closer to the conflict zone, strange things began to happen. Communications were jammed, sensors picked up odd signals, and the atmosphere grew thick with uncertainty. Joran's instincts told him this was no ordinary battle. Suddenly, a group of unknown ships appeared, blocking the human fleet's path. Their shapes were unfamiliar, but their intentions were clear. They did not want humans to proceed. The alien leader spoke through the translator, voice cold and firm. "Humans, you are banned from war. Turn back now or face the consequences." Joran stood tall. "We come to help, not to fight. But we will not run away." The standoff lasted tense moments. Then, a decision was made. The human ships moved forward, careful but steady. The unknown ships hesitated and then moved aside, but their eyes watched closely. On the ground below, the conflict was complex. Two alien factions argued over territory and resources. The humans tried to mediate, using reason and patience. Joran met with leaders from both sides, listening to their fears and hopes. The humans' calm words and clear mind made a difference. But the peace was fragile. Some aliens wanted war to continue. They saw humans as outsiders, troublemakers, even threats. Rumors spread that humans were secretly helping one side gain power. Joran faced many challenges. Old enemies tested his patience. Allies doubted his plans. But he refused to give up. The human way was to keep trying, to find new paths when old ones closed. One night, while reviewing reports, Joran found strange data. Someone was sending false messages to the Council, blaming humans for attacks they did not commit. It was a plot to make humans look bad and keep them banned forever. Joran shared this with Lyra. Together they worked to uncover the truth. They followed the clues to a hidden base, deep in the asteroid belt. There, they found evidence of sabotage, a plan by a secret group to keep the galaxy divided and weak. The discovery shocked them. The ban on humans was not just about fear, it was part of a bigger game of power and control. Joran looked at the stars again and spoke quietly. "We are not just fighting for ourselves. We are fighting for the truth, for the chance to bring peace and trust to the galaxy." Lyra nodded. "And we will keep fighting, not with weapons, but with hope." The battle was far from over, but the humans had shown something important. They could stand strong, even when the galaxy tried to hold them down. The galaxy was quiet, but the air was thick with secrets. The ban on humans had sent ripples across many star systems. Yet beneath the surface, a hidden story waited to be uncovered, one that could change everything the galaxy believed about humans. Captain Joran sat alone in his cabin, the soft hum of the ship around him. His eyes scanned the ancient data they had found on the secret device. The symbols and messages told a tale older than any history book. It was a story of beginnings, of a time when humans and other species were not so divided. Long ago, humans had a different place in the galaxy. They were explorers and thinkers, connected deeply to a mysterious force that others only whispered about. This force was not magic, nor technology, as most knew it. It was something inside humans, a strength of spirit and mind that allowed them to adapt, to grow, and to survive. The Galactic Council had tried to hide this truth. They feared what would happen if others learned of humans' true origins. To keep control, they banned humans from wars and spread stories to make them seem dangerous and wild. Joran's mind raced. Why keep such a secret? What was the Council afraid of? Lyra joined him, her face serious but calm. "The Council's fear comes from misunderstanding," she said. "Humans are different, yes, but that difference is a gift, not a threat." Joran nodded slowly. "Then the galaxy needs to see the truth, not just fear it." Together they planned their next move. They would seek out the lost archives of the galaxy, the places where old knowledge was stored and forgotten. If they could find these, they could prove the Council's stories wrong and show the galaxy the real humans. Their journey took them to distant planets, abandoned space stations, and ancient libraries carved into asteroids. Each place held pieces of the puzzle: old scrolls, data crystals, holograms that flickered with forgotten knowledge. At one station, they found a hologram of the first meeting between humans and the oldest alien race in the galaxy. The elders spoke of humans with respect and hope, praising their will and kindness. But not all reactions were kind. In many places, the records were damaged or missing. Someone had worked hard to erase the truth. While searching, Duran and Lyra also discovered messages from a secret group within the Council. This group wanted to keep humans weak and isolated. They believed that if humans grew stronger, the balance of power in the galaxy would shift. This realization was painful. The ban was more than a rule. It was a tool used by those who feared change. But humans were not alone. On their journey, they met allies from other species who had also suffered under the Council's control. These new friends shared stories of hope and resistance. Duran felt the weight of their stories and the hope of new friendships. "We cannot fight this alone," he said. "The galaxy is bigger than us all, and together, we can change it." Lyra smiled. "The truth is powerful, and when it shines, no darkness can hide it." As they prepared to leave the archives, a sudden alert came from their ship's sensors. Unknown ships approached quickly. Duran's heart beat faster, but he kept calm. These ships were not here to fight. They were here to talk. The leader of the new arrivals spoke. "We know what you have found," the voice said. "The truth cannot stay hidden forever. The galaxy must decide if it is ready to accept humans, as they are." Duran looked at Lyra. This was the moment they had waited for, a chance to change minds and hearts. The journey was far from over, but the first steps had been taken. The galaxy was beginning to see the humans not as threats, but as beings with hope, strength, and a story worth telling. The silence of deep space was broken by the soft hum of engines as Captain Duran's ship moved steadily through the unknown regions. The discoveries they had made so far were like pieces of a puzzle coming together, but many questions remained unanswered. The ban on humans was more than just a rule. It was a shield hiding something powerful. Now it was time to find out what lay behind it. The crew gathered around the main screen. The mysterious message from the approaching ships was clear. The galaxy was beginning to listen. This was their chance to change the story, to show the universe who humans really were. Duran stood before his team, his voice steady but full of hope. "We have seen the truth and now we must share it. But this will not be easy. There are many who want to keep the old fears alive. We must be ready to face doubts, to answer questions, and to build trust." Lyra nodded. "Our strength has never been just in our power, but in our will and our heart. Let us show the galaxy that humans are more than what the Council says." Their first stop was a large space station orbiting a neutral planet. Leaders from many species had gathered for a meeting, the first chance in years to speak openly about humans and their place in the galaxy. The air buzzed with curiosity and tension. Many eyes watched the humans closely. Duran stepped forward, his words clear and honest. He spoke of the ancient connections humans had, the discoveries of the lost archives, and the hope for a future where all could work together. But not everyone was convinced. Some aliens asked sharp questions. "Why should we trust humans after the Council's warnings?" one leader asked. Duran answered calmly, "Because fear comes from not understanding. We do not ask for your trust blindly. We offer our truth, our actions, and our willingness to stand with you, not against you." The room was silent for a moment. Then, one by one, voices began to change. Some leaders shared their own stories of humans who had helped in past conflicts, not with force, but with wisdom and kindness. The meeting ended with a promise. Humans would be given a chance to prove themselves, to be part of galactic decisions, once more. It was a small victory, but a start. Meanwhile, on the edges of the galaxy, other forces were watching. Some still feared what humans might become. Secret groups worked quietly to block the changes. But the growing support for humans was stronger than they expected. Back on Duran's ship, a new message arrived. An invitation to visit the ancient world of the galaxy's oldest species. They wanted to meet humans face to face. This was a sign of great respect and a chance to build true understanding. The journey was long, but hope grew with every star they passed. Duran knew the path ahead would be full of challenges, but he also knew humans had something no one else did. The power to change, to learn, and to unite. As the ship neared the ancient world, Duran looked out at the vastness of space and thought, the ban was never the end. It was the beginning of a new story, one where humans are not feared but celebrated, one where the galaxy is stronger because of us, not in spite of us. The future was still unknown, but one thing was certain. Humans would no longer be silent. Their story was only just beginning. A gentle golden light wrapped around the ship as it entered the atmosphere of the ancient world. The planet below was calm, covered in wide rivers, green mountains, and glowing trees that stretched toward the sky like ancient watchmen. This world had witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations older than memory, and now, for the first time, in generations, it welcomed humans again. Captain Duran stood quietly at the observation window. The journey that had started with suspicion and silence had brought him and his crew to the most sacred place in the galaxy. Here lived the Elders, an ancient race who rarely spoke but were known for their deep wisdom. Their opinions carried more weight than the Galactic Council itself. They had chosen not to take sides for centuries, but something had changed. They had called for the humans. Duran didn't know what to expect. The last few cycles had been filled with challenges. They had uncovered forgotten histories, faced silent resistance from secret groups, and worked hard to earn even small steps of trust. But it was here, on this quiet world, that the truth would finally be shared in front of the galaxy. Lyra entered the room holding a small crystal cube. It glowed softly in her hands. "It's ready," she said. Inside the cube was everything they had found, records from ancient archives, messages proving the ban had been built on fear, and examples of human kindness across the galaxy. They descended to the planet in silence. As the ship's ramp lowered, a group of elders waited for them. Their faces were calm, their eyes deep with thought. No words were exchanged at first. The silence was a kind of greeting, filled with meaning. The humans followed them through long stone paths, past gardens that shimmered with light. Birds sang soft notes in the distance. Time felt slower here, as if the world itself was listening. Inside the council hall, the elders sat in a circle, their robes flowing like water. Duran stood at the center. The crystal cube floated in the air before him, casting quiet lights on the stone walls. He spoke carefully. "We do not come to ask for power. We do not come to prove we are better. We come with a question. Will the HFY galaxy see us for who we truly are? Not the image created by fear, but the truth born from our journey." The elders watched without speaking. Slowly the cube opened and the records appeared. Holograms of old alliances, peaceful missions, humans offering aid, learning new cultures, building bridges. Then came the harder truths. Proof of the secret orders, the erased records, the false messages used to keep humans banned. Not shared in anger, but in hope that the past could be healed. The room remained silent. Duran felt the weight of every breath. Then one elder stood. Her voice was soft but clear. "The stars remember more than we do, and what they remember of humans is not darkness but fire that brings warmth in the cold." Others nodded slowly. Another elder spoke. "You were not banned because of your nature. You were banned because others feared change. But change, like light, must come." Outside the hall, representatives from many species waited for the decision. When the humans emerged, the message spread quickly. The elders had accepted the truth. They had called for the council to remove the ban and restore humans to full standing among the stars. Cheers didn't fill the air, but a powerful stillness did. One of respect, of recognition, the kind that changes everything without a single noise. Back on the ship as they prepared to leave, Duran looked out once more at the sky. It looked the same, but everything had changed. "We didn't win a battle," he said quietly. "We told a story, our story, and finally someone listened." Lyra smiled. "The galaxy needed time to see us, but now that it has, maybe we can help it see itself a little more clearly too." Their ship rose gently from the planet's surface, heading once again toward the stars. But this time, they carried not only hope, but belonging, because sometimes the most powerful change begins not with force but with understanding. And the galaxy had finally begun to understand humanity.